Hello there. Is this the day that Boris Johnson impossibly announces a trade deal with the European Union, or the day the decision was taken to part company without a deal in place? Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost, and I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily, and a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. It's going to be a busy day today, but it probably won't kick off properly until after the programmed phone call at 4 PM today between the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. And this extra 48 hours of negotiating time seems to have done nothing other than raise temperatures around the talks. Now, Michel Barnier has said that the talks must end by Wednesday, but Boris Johnson rejected that deadline and said that the UK will keep negotiating for as long as the EU wants to talk. And given the EU's long lead-in time required to make political decisions across the EU 27 member states, that does put the pressure on Brussels. But that news will also have the Brexiteers groaning, not more delay, they'll say. But as I said in an earlier video, it's probably now more about apportioning post-no-deal Brexit blame, who walked out first, who negotiated in bad faith, etc., etc. Significant for any post-Brexit legal action fallout. But after Boris and Ursula have had their little chat, MPs are due to start debating the UK Internal Market Bill and those Brussels baiting clauses, and that matter is to be settled by 9 PM tonight. But we know that the EU has threatened to pull the rug from under any deal should those clauses remain. So that sounds to me like this 4 PM phone call could be the pivotal moment. Then an announcement and probably a video cast. But the question is, which way will Boris have pivoted? Bad deal or no deal? After all, does it sound like the EU, especially President Macron of France, will be doing us any favours with a good deal right now? And by the time you see this video, the decision might have been made, and you'll know. But there is another matter. Do you remember all those Brexit-related court cases across the land in various courts last year, all that anti-Brexit lawfare? Well, there's now another one. Yes, Boris is up before the beak for another judicial review. This time it's in the Belfast High Court on Wednesday and is related to the signing of the withdrawal agreement and presumably his insertion of those clauses into the Internal Market Bill. An anonymous litigant is bringing the action on the basis that Boris signed the withdrawal agreement with no intention of ever being bound by it. The litigant's lawyer, Patricia Coyle of Hart Coyle Collins, said last month, "The publicly available evidence which my client relies upon in claiming bad faith on the part of the Prime Minister was identified in pre-action correspondence which went to the Prime Minister on September the 19th, 2020. He did not address this evidence in his response to us. My client can only conclude that there is no good answer to it. This supports our client's argument that the Prime Minister signed the withdrawal agreement and protocol without ever intending he should be bound by it. If that is correct and the court adjudicates so, then his actions were unlawful, insofar as he has frustrated the intention of Parliament." Although the withdrawal agreement was ratified by the same Parliament that will probably vote those UK Internal Market Bill clauses back in tonight. So exactly how Parliament has been frustrated, I'm not sure. I wonder if these cases will keep cropping up for the next decade or so. So will Boris Johnson blink? And if he does blink, will he end up blinking like Chief Inspector Dreyfus in the Pink Panther films? Is Nigel Farage's scepticism over the Prime Minister remaining true to his electoral promises on Brexit justified? Or will Boris Johnson decide to try and salvage what remains of his historical legacy, and later today a pre-recorded video address by the Prime Minister will play telling us that we are leaving without a deal? Let's face it, if Boris does not deliver a convincing Brexit that Brexiteers can accept, he can kiss goodbye to the red wall votes he won over at the last general election. With the economic damage of the government's response to the pandemic firmly on display for all to see, there is nothing left to protect the mass hemorrhaging of votes from the Tory diehards to Farage's now rebranded Brexit Party. Let alone the potential rage of wavering voters that would ensue if a meaningful Brexit is not delivered. The very future of the Tory party is now in the hands of Boris Johnson. Let that sink in for a moment. The combination of the Prime Minister failing his Brexit election pledge, combined with this economic environment where whole sections of the economy have been devastated, will mean no comeback for the Conservative brand. And Labour is in no better position, with all the infighting between the far left of the party and the moderates openly and frequently spilling out into the headlines. I mean, does anyone actually know what Labour stands for anymore? Are they socialist? Are they centrist? Are they hard left? Or are they a toxic combination of the hard left and liberal extremism? I think the latter is more probable. But I digress. The point is, the political brands of old are looking increasingly past their sell-by date, and that means huge openings are appearing within the political landscape for new political parties that will meet the ideological demands of voters. And those players are out there, disruptors that could well destabilise the red-blue dominance. But things may look less dire for the Tories if Boris Johnson has made the right decision and taken this country out of the EU with no ties and stands firm on a no-deal Brexit. But don't think the battle will be entirely over even then. It will be perfectly reasonable to expect the potential of selling off the family silver to the EU post a no-deal. No deal simply means no agreement right now, before we leave the transition period. It doesn't mean that no trade and political arrangements will be formed with the EU post no-deal exit. In fact, it is almost certain that they will be. So we will have to keep our beady eyes on how that pans out, not just for the next few months, but forevermore. Because those pesky rejoiners will be doing all they can to force the UK back into the EU. And there are still a lot of them around. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below, and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all of this? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.